The National Electrical Code does not directly specify the amount of access space required in front of a junction box specifically for butt splicing conductors. However, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, does have regulations that address this. OSHA's regulations mandate that there must be sufficient access and working space around electrical equipment. This is to permit ready and safe operation and maintenance of such equipment. This requirement applies to junction boxes as well, particularly when performing tasks like splicing conductors. For electrical equipment that is not located in a confined space, OSHA mandates a minimum of 3 feet of clear working space in front of the equipment. This 3-foot clearance is a general requirement to ensure that workers have adequate space to perform their tasks safely and efficiently. The purpose of this clear working space is to provide enough room for a qualified person to work safely. It also dictates that the area must be kept clear of all obstacles that could impede movement or create hazards. Obstacles could include things like stored materials, equipment, or structural elements that could obstruct the workspace. Now, in the case of working on a 200-amp 480-volt feeder, it's essential to adhere to the OSHA guidelines and provide at least 3 feet of clear working space in front of the junction box. This will provide ample room to work safely. It also makes sure that you can make the necessary connections without being cramped or hindered by obstructions. This clearance helps prevent accidents and injuries. In addition to providing adequate working space, it's crucial to consider the environment in which the junction box is located. Firstly, you should ensure that the junction box is located in a dry area. This is to prevent moisture from entering the box and causing corrosion or electrical hazards. Secondly, it is important to locate the junction box in a well-ventilated area. This is to dissipate heat generated by the conductors and splices. Proper ventilation can help prevent overheating. It can also extend the lifespan of the electrical components. Furthermore, you should make sure that the junction box is easily accessible for future maintenance and repairs. This accessibility will simplify troubleshooting and repairs. It also minimizes downtime in the event of a problem. When installing and maintaining electrical equipment, safety should always be the top priority. Following OSHA guidelines and best practices can help prevent accidents and ensure a safe working environment. Here's a breakdown of the key considerations for junction box working space. Firstly, consult OSHA regulations for specific requirements regarding working space around electrical equipment. Secondly, provide a minimum of 3 feet of clear working space in front of the junction box for a 200-amp 480-volt feeder. Thirdly, keep the working space clear of all obstacles that could impede movement or create hazards. Fourthly, ensure that the junction box is located in a dry and well-ventilated area. Fifthly, make sure that the junction box is easily accessible for future maintenance and repairs. By following these guidelines, you can ensure a safe and efficient working environment when installing and maintaining junction boxes and electrical feeders. Remember that these regulations are in place to protect workers and prevent accidents. Adhering to them is not only a legal requirement, but also a moral obligation. It's always a good idea to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer if you have any questions or concerns about electrical safety. They can provide expert guidance and ensure that your electrical installations meet all applicable codes and regulations. Furthermore, proper planning and preparation are essential for any electrical project. Before starting work, take the time to assess the situation, identify potential hazards, and develop a safe work plan. This plan should include procedures for lockout, tagout, personal protective equipment, and emergency response. Regularly inspect electrical equipment and wiring for signs of damage or deterioration. Replace any worn or damaged components promptly to prevent electrical hazards. Additionally, it's important to train workers on proper electrical safety procedures. This training should cover topics such as lockout, tagout, arc flash safety, and the use of personal protective equipment. By investing in training and education, you can empower workers to identify and mitigate electrical hazards and prevent accidents. In conclusion, while the National Electrical Code doesn't explicitly state access space for butt splicing conductors in a junction box, OSHA regulations do. Always provide at least 3 feet of clear working space in front of the junction box. Also, make sure that the box is in a safe and accessible location for future work.